Hey guys, welcome back to Hero Games. So it's been a while since we posted a video. Part of that was we were prepping for BT6. I wasn't really thinking about too many other decks at the time, and then BT6 got delayed. The other part of it is I'm getting married pretty soon, which I'm super excited about. She's my best friend, uh, but that hasn't left me a whole lot of time to do video production as much as I would like to have, nor to do as much crazy deck testing as I'd like to have done. I've been playing around with a few other decks, still trying to make black work the best that I can possibly can. My friends helped me test it a lot, put it through the ringer. So we're coming at you today with a new black build, this time focusing on Black Reboot, starring the BT5 reboot boy himself, Black Metal Garurumon. I've been wanting to build around him for a little while now. It's finally time to kick it into gear and see what we can make him do. Full-on disclaimer, I still haven't gotten to test this deck a whole lot. Played it a few rounds with some friends, and I've been trying to tweak it, but I haven't been able to take it to any locals yet due to my busy schedule. So this build is going to be more talking about what I feel about so far and some things I'm looking forward to changing rather than being tournament tested. But it's still pretty fun. As always, starting with our level 3s, we are running 4 copies of Kaporimon from BT2. Kaporimon, we're going 4 eggs this time because we want to make sure that we get off the effect. None of the other black babies really give us too much extra in terms of what to do, but at least with all of our level 6s being reboot based, we'll at least get a minimum of 1000 DP. For our level 3s, we are running 3 copies of Gatsumon from BT2. Gatsumon is a 3-drop blocker, lose 2 memory when attacking, 3000 DP. This is a good way to stop some early rookie pushes if we can get him out on the field. I would run him at 4 copies if I had a 4th copy. Since I don't, we are supplementing him with 1 copy of this 3-drop Agumon, who is blocker, does not lose memory to attack, but he does just have a measly 1000 DP. As much as I love this card, he doesn't quite come in as clutch as Gatsumon. Gatsumon can only stop a jamming Vmon, whereas Agumon will die doing so. So kind of a trade-off, but I'd rather have the lose 2 memory when attacking because I'm not really playing him to attack, but I do want 4. I want 4 blockers. Agumon lets me get there. I would run 4 Gatsumon if I had it. Next, we are running 2 copies of BT3 Chumon. Chumon's kind of our blue-yellow counter, in a sense. We stopping those Hammer Sparks and Blinding Rays, things of that nature. Help stop a little bit of purple there with the Gilmon effects. All turns, your opponent cannot gain memory except with Tamer effects, so if we are playing against a build that favors on gaining a lot of memory, we can just kind of pop him down and help counteract that. I'm running him at 2 copies because it's nice to see him, but I don't want to see him a whole lot. Honestly, the level 3s are not staying on the field a lot right now in this current meta. A lot of popular decks have a lot of ways to just pop cards for free. They're on the field for too long. So he's very short-lived. We'll get him maybe for a cheeky 1 turn or 2 turn before someone sees to it that he's removed. Next, we are running 1 copy of the promo Sunarizamon. Why 1 copy? Because I only own 1 copy. He's quite an expensive card to collect for. I have not been able to pull him from any other packs, so unfortunately, 1 copy. If you happen to have more, definitely run more in your version of the build. He's just so good for black. He's arguably probably the best level 3 for black in a lot of different builds. On your turn, all of your black Digimon with 13,000 DP or more gain piercing. And then the inheritable, while this Digimon is black and has 13,000 DP or more, this Digimon gains security attack +1. There's a lot of ways for black to get up to 13,000 DP pretty easy. So whether he's under the stack or beside the stack, there's a way to get off this effect. Next, we are running 3 copies of 2-drop Hagurumon. My lovely little gear boy here. He's here for the choking. Can drop him off for 2. We don't put our opponents at 1 or 2 memory. He's a nice way to just get another level 3 on the field without going full on to the 3 cost for evolve. And we're running 2 copies of Toy Agumon. The inheritable reboot is not too big of a deal in this. There are some cases where it can come up, but most of the time our Digimon that we're doing our attacks with have reboot naturally anyways. But since we don't really have any better level 3s to run, and he does come in handy sometimes, we'll be doing our 2 copies here just to fill it in. On to our level 4s, I'm running 4 copies of the BT2 Greymon. This is the matching jamming Greymon. Inheritable, if your Digimon is reboot, it gains jamming. So this is great with our level 5s there. We can start swinging with jamming early if we wanted to, depending on the deck matchup. So if you're playing against purple, for example, they're probably going to pop it next turn. So maybe not on that specific scenario, but if we're swinging with our level 6s, they'll also have jamming. He's also kind of a good anti-breaking card, because if you don't happen to draw any level 3s, he's at least only 4 to drop. So we can kind of get some momentum early in if we have to hard play him. As opposed to his Galgamon counterpart, Galgamon has a little bit more DP and can survive being on the field a little bit more, but he does drop at a higher cost. I'm opting more for the play him quick if I have to, and then evolve on top of him as fast as possible. I'm not really looking to keep him on the field long term as himself. We're running 4 copies of Dark Tyrannomon from the black starter deck. This is one of our go-to blockers here, as well as just our turbo option. He's 1 cost to evolve, blocker, lose 2 memory when attacking, 5000 DP, standard 1 cost blocker. We're running him at 4. He's always good to see, whether it's for blocking or whether we are just using the turbo option up. I would consider possibly switching out less of the Greymons for more 1 cost options in either Tankmon or probably Numimon, if I were to think about it some more. And I may do that depending on testing. And then our other level 4, we're running 2 copies of Sealsdramon. I'm starting to like the idea of having 6 blockers, with 2 of them at least being the more traditional blocker at 6000 DP, having the ability to evolve at 2 for possible choke, or at least hard play for 5 versus the 6 is definitely beneficial at times. And then the 6000 DP also allows him to survive early yellow onslaughts a little bit more, and gets around some early builds of Shoutmon as well. For our level 5s, we're running 3 copies of Reboot Metal Greymon. Metal Greymon has 3 to evolve, has reboot naturally, 7000 DP, is inheritable while this Digimon has reboot. It's inheritable while this Digimon has reboot. It gains security attack +1. So this we can of course put it on top of our jamming Greymons, and we can start swinging. It'll have jamming, and it'll reboot on the next turn. So depending on your matchup, it's very safe to start swinging into. Your opponent will have to do something to get rid of it if they don't want to start just losing the security battle early. In addition to the Metal Greymons, we are running 3 copies of the matching Black Galgamon. So this is our other reboot level 5 here. Same thing. He's the same play cost, same DP, same Evo, same reboot ability. The only difference is in his inheritable is if this Digimon has reboot, it gains +2000 DP, which can help us get to that 13,000 mark from the Tsunarizamon. Honestly, depending on the matchup, I can really prefer to see either one of these. I've been running them at 3 each because I really want to just play test it more and see what I end up liking more. There's definitely been times where the extra security plus has been helpful, and there's definitely been times where the +2000 DP has been helpful. And we're ending our level 5s with the 2 copies of Warumanzimon. This is the only and best turbo option for black right now. 2 to evolve, 5 to drop, so it's not terrible to break. 6000 DP, but if we get him on top of Toy Agumon and Greymon, then he's swinging for jamming with reboot also, which is kind of a cool tech to do. I don't want to see him more than my other level 5s, but sometimes it is nice to have just a cheap memory option to get up into your 6s if you need to. Now time for the start of the show. Our level 6s, we are running 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of BT5 Black Metal Garurumon. Metal Garurumon has reboot naturally, 3 to evolve, 11k DP. When digivolving, Digiburst 2, and you either delete a Digimon that's a play cost of 6 or less. If they do not have a Digimon that meets that requirement, then you get to trash a security. This is a wonderful card to get in some early aggression, especially with a lot of builds right now. When they're attacking with their level 6s, they're usually destroying something of yours. So for black to have that option as well, even though it's not quite as crazy as some of the other builds like your Shoutmons or your Lord Knights, it still gives us some momentum to push back. And if they don't have anything, at least we're not losing that ability. We're trashing security, which I think can be even more beneficial. If you play Nightmon or you play Shoutmon, if there's nothing there to delete for you to use your abilities, you're not making use of it to full effect. But even if there's nothing for me to delete, I still get to at least trash the security. Just something else to think about with it. This is definitely the prime time level 6 here that we want to go into. But we have supplementary level 6s here. I'm running 2 more level 6s, 1 copy of each because I wasn't sure what I wanted to play. And so far we've played a copy of Black War Greymon from the same set. Security attack +1 naturally and reboot. So if we get him on top of the Metal Greymon and if we get him on top of the Sunzarimon, he's checking for 4 security total. That is a lot of security. And if he has the Greymon in him too, that's 4 security with jamming. While 13k is still a lot, it's still possible to swing into an Omnimon and lose him, but with jamming, we're good to go, provided we don't swing into any of those crazy option cards. The 4 cost is a little high, though. It definitely makes it real slow to play, especially in certain decks where they're memory choking you. That 4 can really be hit and miss. The other level 6 I play is Crest Garurumon, another reboot level 6, another one that is 4 to evolve. This one only 11k. When Digivolving, reveal 1 card at the top of your deck for each card your opponent has in play. You may play a 1 black or red Digimon that's still 5 or less among them. So again, I wasn't sure whether I wanted the all-out aggression or to go for more kind of a board control style. So far, they both haven't really come in handy that much, but the Black War Greymon has come up once with the jamming security plus, check a bunch of security free kind of thing. Whereas Crest Garurumon so far, I played him, I get the Digimon out, opponent deletes both of them somehow next turn. So Crest hasn't come in handy too much, although I can see where it could. It's definitely got potential, I think. I just haven't been able to experience it successfully. I think I'm leaning more towards either running 2 of the Black War Greymon, or I might try some of the other reboot level 6s, like just the regular War Greymon, who's a blocker for 3 evolve. Kind of get closer to what what Metal Gurumon's trying to do. But it's just some options there. So for our level 7s, we are running 2 copies of Omnimon Zwart. Omnimon Zwart is 6 to evolve. When Digivolving, we'll trash the top 3 cards and we get to play 2 level 5 black Digimon or less from our trash, so we can build in more attackers, we can put 2 blockers. And then when attacking, you can return the level 6 to your hand to delete a Digimon with a play cost of 12 or less, which is a level 6 or lower. So we can pop a lot of level 6s, except for a few of them that are just over that threshold. Important thing to note here is that the Digimon has to be unsuspended, I believe. Yeah, Digimon has to be unsuspended, so if it's a suspended Digimon, you're not getting too much into that, although you can just attack into it and then use the effect to delete something else. Just depends what you want to do. In addition to that, we are running 1 copy of Chaosmon. I originally had Alter S in this build, but I really just didn't see a lot of opportunities to make use of it. With Chaosmon, we can kind of keep up the aggression style that we're trying to match, because Black lacks a lot of aggression options, so this kind of gets me one. It has Piercing naturally, so we still get to check security while deleting Digimon. When Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, and then I can swing into a unsuspended Digimon, or a suspended Digimon, any Digimon that I choose really. And I can kill it, so that allows me to kill a threat, kill a level 6 that's on the field, and get Piercing so I can still check security. I think it's a neat way for Black to keep up some aggression that it's lacking. And we're running our 1 copy of Omnimon Zwart Defeat. We are running 1 copy because we only have 1 copy. Zwart Defeat is arguably one of the best level 7s in the game right now. It does so much for so little. If you're a deck that can run a Zwart Defeat, you probably want to run more than 1. But we only have 1 copy. It's 3 to evolve. Security effect, if it gets checked in security, you don't delete the Digimon, but instead it plays for free, which is fantastic. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Tamers, which again is also fantastic. And then on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon, which is again still fantastic. Like those 3 effects there's like never an opportunity where one of those isn't effective. And he's swinging for 13k DP. He's swinging for 13k DP, so there's a lot of times where Black can make use of like punch strats just on top of his Zord defeat, get him up to 16k and really start crushing things. For our Tamers, we're running 1 copy of Tai Kamiya and 1 copy of Izzy Izumi. We ran 1 copy each because I do want 2 memory correctors in this, but I wasn't sure which one I wanted. They both have a lot of different uses in different Black decks. I'm probably going to lean to 2 copies of Izzy. Reason being, while the Tai getting the plus 1000 DP gets more mileage out of it versus Izzy's one-time effect, the plus 1000 DP does not come up a whole lot. We're not playing a whole lot of blockers. We're not really playing a strat here where we're keeping our Digimon on the field to protect ourselves long term. So the plus 1000 DP has come up very little. Alternatively, Izzy, though, comes up quite a lot, so we can potentially play this for 3. We reveal the top 3 cards of our deck. If all the reveal cards are black, gain 1 memory. So this lets Izzy, a memory correcting tamer, play for 3 instead of 4 if we get that effect off. Or if it's checked in security and you get the effect off, then your opponent loses the memory due to the effect. And if they're swinging at you when you're at 0 memory, the one memory will put it to your turn automatically, and then you'll also be at 3 memory because it's a memory corrector, which is a fantastic thing when it happens. I've had it happen a few times in tournament. It's funny when it happens, and it really can save your ass. Our other Tamers, we're running 3 copies of Tai Kamiya and Matt Ishida. So this is our white Tamer here. This is kind of needed bread and butter for our deck here. So this is level 6 counter as well as our level 7 engine. If your opponent's level 6 or higher, when you start your turn, you gain 2 memory. And then on your turn, all your Digimon with Omnimon in their name gain security tag +1. So unless you're playing against like Rookie Rush or decks that just don't go up to their level 6 or don't need to go up to their level 6 for some reason, this is the great way to kind of get some counter speed back in. You're going to get to the level 6 first, and especially if it's ending their turn, you're going to get 2 memory no matter what they try to put you at. So at the bare minimum, you know, they have a level 6 out or a level 7. They put you on 1 memory, perhaps by Digivolving into that if you're getting memory choked, you don't have your memory corrector yet. You're going to get put up to 3, so it's kind of like a memory corrector, but it can also be more, because if you have memory corrector and this, then you're going to 5 memory or higher, because each of these stacks. So that's 2, 4, 6 extra memory potentially if you get these. And I've had a game where I've had 3 of these out, and my turn ended up being at 10 memory. I still didn't win that game. That's very heartbreaking, but hey, I started my turn with 10 memory. But we're running a lot of white Tamers because we need a lot of white Tamers, and I really want to make full use of our Omnimons as well as punish our opponent's level 6s to give ourselves more momentum. For our option cards, we're running 2 copies of a Blazing Storm of Metal. This card is just kind of like a for fun card. I don't run a whole lot in security that could turn around the game, but this could if it happens to get in there. It's a 1-drop. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, all your Digimon with Reboot gain plus 1000 DP and blocker. So this is a way for us to make our level 6s into makeshift blockers if we need to stall out a turn, or play one to memory choke somebody, But the important effect is the security effect. Your opponent's Digimon cannot attack players for the turn, then add this card to your hand. So if this ends up being one of the first or early cards checked in what is about to be an onslaught of different security checks, this will instantly put a stop to that. This will also stop people from swinging for game if your last security checked, which is fantastic. But more importantly, it also goes back to your hand. So you get that, and then you can, provided you have a Digimon with Reboot, which is pretty easy, you can go into a blocker next turn. So this really good stall card, really good way, if you're lucky, that you can just kind of delay someone's turn, game-winning turn. In our main option card, we are running 3 copies of Mega Digimon Fusion. And this is the main engine right here. We are building up this entire deck to play Omnimons for free for a variety of reasons. Specifically, this card does, next time one of your Digimon digivolves from a level 6 to a level 7 this turn, reduce the memory cost of that Digivolution by 6, which is a free evolve. At the end of the turn, return the Digimon that digivolved from this effect to the bottom of the deck and trash all the Digivolution cards. So the security effect adds it to hand. So ideally what we want is we want to build up to our Metal Garurumon while we have a white Tamer out. We Digiburst and either delete like a blocker maybe, or we can delete some other Digimon if we need to. If there's no Digimon to delete, then we can trash a security, which gets us one security closer. Then we want to play the Mega Digimon Fusion to Digivolve into Omnimon Zwart preferably. Omnimon Zwart's Digivolve effect will play, and all those, not only will we mill the top 3 off the deck, but we will also have already Digibursted our components underneath Metal Garurumon. So that level 5 and level 4 that we Digibursted, we can now grab from our trash, put them on the field. We can now then swing with Zwart, because again, we just Digivolved them, 0 memory. Swing with Zwart, you're going to check a security +1 for each one of these guys here. So a minimum of 1 security, or a minimum of 2 security, because we have to have one of these guys. Checking a minimum of 2 security to remove the level 6 to hand and delete a Digimon. So now we're deleting at least 2 Digimon between Metal Garurumon and Omnimon Zwart. We're checking at least 2 security, and then we've removed all the components underneath this Digimon and re-put them back on the field as a 4 and a 5. We can then evolve that 5 back into another Metal Garurumon to end our turn, and this will go to the bottom, and we still have our level 6, and we've deleted those. If your opponent is playing another Mat and Tide, it's also a great way to go into the 6, free evolve into the 7, get your momentum with the 6 and checks, and then it goes away. You can just leave the 5s and the 4s on the field, and your opponent won't get the +2 memory while still have taken the damage from having that level 6 out. So that's the name of the game. Reboot Digibursting into Omnimon Zwart for free. That's the main thing here. We want to get our level 6s up fast. We want to do some quick damage. Then we want to get out and replenish our board with a bunch of smaller Digimon. When it gets off, it can be really destructive. It can really ruin your opponent's board and really build up your board, because you're getting at least 2 Digimon off the play. So going from 1 Digimon to 2 Digimon and having done a ton of damage. Alright, and that's our current black build starring Metal Garurumon for the reboot. Let me know what you think down below. If you have any ideas what to do with this deck, if you're running a reboot deck yourself, let me know what you're doing. And if you have any other crazy black builds, man, I'm always looking for new things to try. Black is such a fun color, although it can be an uphill battle sometimes. Be sure to like and subscribe for more upcoming Digimon content. There might be a bit of a break upcoming due to, again, the wedding, as previously mentioned. But we will be back with a lot of content, especially coming with BT6. We're going full on in BT6. So much good stuff coming out in black and red. I'll catch you guys next time.